we should mention it's almost to the day, 30 years since the Day Today broadcast.
The Day Today.
Unbelievably.
Yes, thank you very much. 19th of January, 1994.
Yeah.
And the reason I remember that is our eldest, Emilio, was born on the 20th of January, 1994.
Wow.
So while all that was happening, we
Yeah.
were actually in the maternity ward. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise that. That's crazy.
Yes. So
Yeah.
my mind was on other things.
No wonder the first episode was so bad.
It's not how television works. I mean, we'd made it quite some time previously.
Oh, then there's no excuse.
Yes. That's why in the end you weren't involved, because you don't understand the media.
I thought I had to be
thought
there
you
on
had
the
to be
day,
there on the
writing
day.
it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So it's amazing to. I mean, it's. I feel like those 30 years have gone very, very far. I feel like 20 of those years have just been someone came and sucked them out with a straw.
I know.
I don't even remember those 20 of them. So yeah, does it feel weird to you that it's that long ago?
It does. It's funny because I think we got together for like our 20th, and that seemed like a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know what happened the last 10. And also, is it that the news since about 2003 really has just been awful, and it's just been the same form of awfulness?
Yes.
That you can't quite distinguish one year from another now.
Do you think that's your fault? Do you think that was the Day Today that did it?
No. Of course not. I mean, why should a news parody in 1994 cause the World Trade Center to be attacked, a war in Iraq, and then international trade collapse in 2008?
You never know. All I know is the World Trade Center was there before you did the Day Today.
I know.
And it wasn't there shortly afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, but news became sort of indistinguishable. It sort of presaged what news coverage was going to become. You were parodying what was already there, but it was actually sort of became...
Yes, maybe it was on the cusp. But I suppose at the time we were doing it was when CNN had become the big kind of 24-hour rolling news thing.
Yeah.
And everything had a sense of its bigness and importance. And I remember, as a radio producer coming to London from Glasgow and listening to this thing called The Way It Is on Capital, which was a news program at 7 p.m. Again, which had like jingles for it had the weather. It's going to be showery tonight. So the sort of the kind of skeleton of the show was much more interesting than the muscle, as it were. So it would be like, currencies. The pound will be still steady with the dollar, and markets. And nothing much to rebut. The Dow is, it's horse racing. Well, that's been cancelled today because of the weather. It's just rail travel into and out of London town. All trains are running. No. Avanti have said that they can't do it. They stopped some of the trains. They can't go anymore because they don't know how to make them go. See you tomorrow. Hear you tomorrow. It's radio. Goodbye. So I just thought, well, I'll have
That's
that.
it.
To do that then. But it was really just another way of doing a sketch show, really, wasn't it? Doing stupid jokes, but dressing it up in a kind of, and the more serious, the more genuine it felt, I think.
Yeah.
So there was no raised eyebrows in the delivery of it.
Yeah.
The more genuine it felt, and the funnier it was.
But what you've also always been good at as well, and as well as I think you're good at everything. But what I think what the running theme through all of your projects, I think, is you cast them very well, and you get an interesting team of people together. And sometimes you work with the same people, but you'll nearly always bring in somebody new as well.
Well, I'm always interested. I always think that actually I genuinely want to be surprised by stuff rather than have everyone write stuff that I want them to write or whatever. That's why I remember when I started as a radio producer, I was doing this topical show, Weekending. I don't know if the older, the pensionable generation, I say that because I've just turned 60, will remember Weekending. It was a very popular shit show on Radio 4 that was written that week. And when I joined as a radio producer, one of the first things you do is you get given 8 weeks of Weekending to produce. But I just got you and Stuart in. You ended up writing half of every
We did
episode,
a lot. It was when we just... Diane Messias was another producer who I think maybe immediately preceded you.
Yes.
And we got one sketch on in 8 weeks. Yeah. Like one quickie.
And then you just wrote funny stuff. And I thought, I'd rather have funny stuff than very kind of pompous, serious stuff.
Yeah.
I do remember my favourite sketch was the all-new adventures of the Birmingham Six. Because I think they've either been released or their appeals, their sentences have been overturned. So you had them just like getting in a car and going off on adventures. And then being falsely accused of things. Do you not remember that? Well, it made me laugh, and fortunately there was no real social media then. It was just good, God-honest letters.
Diane Messias, the producer who preceded you, wouldn't let us do any jokes. We had a joke about the IRA, or someone did, and she said she wouldn't put it on because she didn't want to give the IRA the oxygen of publicity.
Give them the nitrogen of publicity. That was one of my favourite bits in the day-to-day when we gave Steve Coogan as an IRA man the helium of publicity in because they had the thing that the government said you can't have the IRA or any Sinn Féin actually on the telly saying stuff, so they had to be revoiced by an actor.
It's absolutely insane.
Which was stupid. So you saw them, and then a very good Ulster accent or Northern Irish accent, voicing them to their lips. So we did a thing where to subtract credibility from what he's saying, he is compelled to inhale helium before he speaks. So we genuinely did it. Steve genuinely had a canister of helium, and he.
Your position is making me very angry. Your tone is antagonistic.
But we were young then, we just thought, fuck it. But of course, again, because there was no social media, there was no kind of, well, this is offensive to helium producers, and helium factories, helium workers up and down the country.
I think I remember, when letters came, we got quite a lot of letters of complaint for our various radio shows, but it was like 10 letters, and they'd come in, and then everyone would sort of read them and laugh at them, and then and send them back. And then the producer would have to reply semi-seriously to them.
I remember, was it Paul Spencer, who again it was a couple of years there before me, and he was actually about to leave because he had a job at ITV or something like that, and he got a letter. He had just done Weekending, and he got a letter from someone saying, I think you, in your sketch celebrating the 60th anniversary of World War II or whatever, couldn't I point out, the word is not celebrate, it's commemorate. So he wrote back, thank you so much for pointing that out to me. I'm absolutely mortified by what I did, and I've tendered my resignation. But the thing is, like you said, it was 10 letters. And it's so funny when you read these things like Twitter storm erupts over, inaudible dialogue in BBC drama. And then they quote like 3 tweets. Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's 3 people tweeting.
Yes,
and it's even easier to tweet. Not X. I'm not saying X. Xing. It's even easier to do that than write a letter. So of course people, but suddenly that's a storm.
Yeah.
When it is fundamentally 3 tweets.
Yes, it's crazy. But there we go. We carry on. It's all right. It doesn't really.
It's fine.
If you ignore it, it goes away, Armando. That's the thing.
I think most issues, I think, are like that. Actually. Yeah,
if you just on Twitter, if you ignore it, it just absolutely goes.
Yeah. No,
but in life as well.
You must never respond. That's my golden rule.
Yeah, it's true.